Okay, so the purpose of this video is to talk about the quarterly news article assignment that's due in all of my classes. The explanation for it, if you go to the calendar and you go to your class, so if you're an IED student, if you go to IED, and if you go to the first day of school, there'll be a file called Intro Stuff under IED. You can also get this in the Google Drive under IED. But if I go here, on the right-hand side here, it says IED News Article Homework. If I hold my mouse, it'll pop up, I think. Oh, whatever. So here's the assignment. The assignment is you have to find a news article from a reputable news reporting source about how engineering affects the environment. So the article can't just be about engineering and it can't just be about the environment. It has to be about the combination of the two. If you take a different class, the article might be about something different, but they're all something. They have a topic. And if you go to your class, so this is Intro to Engineering, if you go to CSP, for example, that's Computer Science Principles, like at the moment that article is about hacking. Right? So it might be about something different, but the explanation is in the first line here about what it is. But for the IED kids and usually the POE kids, this is what it's about. So you have to go find that news article, and you have to find it from a reputable news reporting source. So if you go and you Google something and you find an article about how great these solar panels are, and they come from solarpanel.net, that's not going to count because solarpanel.net has a vested interest in telling you solar panels are great, right? So it has to come from someplace reputable, someplace that doesn't have an obvious bias. So the way you do that, and there are a lot of different things, is if you Google it and you just Google whatever. Google doesn't do a great job anymore of giving you like a broad variety of what you're looking for. It steers you in a certain direction. So kids will complain that it's difficult to find the news article because they'll do it all through Google. I would suggest going to more of a news source that you know is a good news source and then searching their website for specifically what you're looking for. So like for example, if I go to Popular Mechanics, right? That's a good news source. You know there's going to be something technical on there, and I'm just kind of riffing here. And then if you go to like search on their website, so if I go to search and I'll type in engineering environment, see what comes up. I spelled engineering wrong. Hopefully it figures it out. You know, there are all sorts of different articles here that you can look through and see if one of them meets what you're looking for. I'm just going to like change that, spell it correctly, and see if I can find anything better. So if I come through, I can try to find an article that maybe works a little bit better. So going through, I don't know. See, here's one right here. How solar panels made in the Sahara could make it rain more, right? That's an example of engineering affecting the environment. So I'm going to open this article up. I'm going to read through it, see if it meets my needs, and I'm going to say, okay, yes, it does. All right, so now I've got it. I've found my article. So now I have to put it on a sheet of paper so that I can come in and I can present it. When you present, the goal is to read the article and write 2 to 3 paragraphs about what you thought the article is about, and then read those 2 to 3 paragraphs to the class. I don't want you to come in with note cards. I don't want you to come in and summarize. I want you to literally read. I want you to gain the confidence necessary to stand in front of your peers and read, and I don't want there to be some additional pressure that maybe I'm not thinking about. So in order to do that, you're going to go to Word. There's an example here. I'm going to close it. But go to Word. And I want all of this to fit on one piece of paper, so I want you to do it the way that I'm telling you to do it. It has to be done this way. Open a blank document, go to page layout, go to margins, and I want to tweak the margins so they're as far out as they can possibly be. So I'm going to make the top, left, bottom, right, all of those 0.25 so that we get real wide. I'm going to type my name at the top. I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to start typing my 2 to 3 paragraphs, right? So I'm going to copy and paste some text in here just so we have something, but you should be summarizing in your head and writing in your own words what we want here. So if I go back to the article, I'm just going to grab 2 to 3 paragraphs just so I have something to copy and paste. So I'll just grab these 3 paragraphs. Again, you would not copy and paste like I am right now, but I'm doing it so I have something to put on here. So Control V, this is what I would read to my classmates. I would come in and I would say, governments and energy providers around the world are increasingly turning to wind and solar power, whatever, so on and so forth. I would read this, right? The other thing that should come on here is kind of a synopsis of your article. And the way you're going to do that is, I want to see, so here's the top of my page. Scroll down so you get to the top of the article. You know, what I really most want to see is the article. I want to see who wrote it. I want to see where it's from. I should be able to see that from the web address. And I want to see what date it was made. So I also want to like be able to fit as much of it on a paper as I can. So I'm going to zoom out. So the way you can zoom out, there's 2 different ways. One is if you hold down Control and you scroll back on your mouse button, that'll work. So choose a zoom where I can still read it, but it's gotten smaller and I can fit more of the article in. The other way you can do it is if you come up here to the 3 dots and you go to zoom, you can zoom in, zoom out that way. But whatever, we're in good shape here. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to print screen so that I can bring it into my Word document. So the print screen button is on your keyboard and it's right next to the F12. So I'm going to click that. And now I have to go to Paint, so I'll show you what I have to do in case it's something you ever have to deal with. But I'm going to go to Paint. I'm going to go to New, Control V. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to zoom out, kind of like you did before. I'm going to draw a box around it. So now I have the exact same thing you would have if you hit print screen on a single monitor. You won't need to do this, but I have dual monitors. So my second monitor is what you're looking at here. This is the one that we're viewing. So if I come back to my Word document, I'm going to hit Control V. Right? I'm going to go through and I'm going to put this in front of text so that I can move it around. But I'm going to move it right to where I want it so it takes up the screen. And then I'm going to drag it down so I can take those small lettering and make it as big as I can. And now I have a full sheet of paper. I have my summary. I have evidence of where it came from. I can see the web address in the top. All of those things. So what I want you to do so that you can prove that you did this and you have something to hand into the hand-in folder now that you've accomplished your goal here is I want you to go and I want you to bring up your network folder. I want you to go and find another article just like this. I want you to do this quickly just like I did. So I want you to go through, go to this PC, go to your network folder, which is right there. Shrink it down like we've been doing in all the other assignments here. So put it like that. And then I want you to find just some random assignment. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be house solar panels. I don't care where it's from. It can be the front page of the Times Union for all I care. This is just you proving that you know how to do what I'm asking you to do right here. Does that make sense? So now I have my network folder, I have my summary, I have Mr. Duff, I have my article, and now I know that you watched the video, that you know how to do it, and then when it's time to do your actual news article, that you'll know what steps to go through. So then you'll hit print screen, you'll save it into Paint just like you've been doing, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to assume that you can. You're going to go to the hand-in folders, and you're going to hand it into, if I go back, I think I can find it here. Oh, it's not there. It is right here. Lastname.homework is where you'll hand that in when you're done. I think that kind of explains everything you need to know. If you have any questions, please come up and ask. But other than that, good luck and go to work.